Give it up for purpose, y'all.
I almost said good morning. Lord have mercy. How y'all doing this evening? I won't be before you very long. I just got a couple of pieces to drop on you real quick. Have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight? We like to romanticize our sin. You're right, like to romanticize our sin. You're right, I like to romanticize my sin. Lust fruit juices drip from my tongue and chin when I grin. The misleading beam, sun-soaked in desolation. Once again, kin to despair. Open to denial's language, closed to open's anguish. Losing self and selfishness, me, myself, and I. Dirty love triangle, it's me. Running through the channel of misery, long hard roads, jagged yet deceptively smooth pavement, cracked once beautiful feet, calloused, bleeding, anger and lament, and still running like forest through the paths of my father's sin seeds and birth fruits. The foliage is thick here, so I find comfort and grow short roots. I can hide my business in my busyness. Shallow. The prayer life of a busy person. Shallow. Like the love experience of a person who was lured to the bedroom by a prowler. Girl, he don't really love you. Shallow. So shallow that scratching the surface jeopardizes the entirety. Shattered. Shallow like too old, overused, under-maintained leather. Cracked. Relationship with God out of shape. Why must I be so fragile, disposable, breakable, compostable, dispensable, giving no stability, only grand vulnerability in ministry? It's me. He deserves better loyalty, effectiveness, dedication. What I should be, deep. What I need, deep. Deep like the love that grandmother and grandfather had. Deep like during Alzheimer's, coming home from the nursing home facility because grandpa remembered to come home from work. To return home to the wife and woman that he loved after years of retirement. Deep like when grandpa said till death do us part, that's exactly what he meant. Deep like faithfulness. Deep like people still sticking it out after dealing with infidelity. People deep like some things none of us will ever understand and have absolutely no room to comment on. Deep. Deep like marriages and families becoming mechanisms for economy's destruction. Constructing fallacies like irreconcilable differences because the money gets thin. Deep like greed-driven unions, always and forever sewn into a pincushion designed to hold rings, sitting beside a prenup, escape clause. Deep. Deep like it's better not to make a vow than to make a vow and break one. Deep like I'm so glad God never made me sign a prenup. Deep. Deep like married to the backslider. Deep. Deep like terms used by people descriptive of those things that plague the lives of our ancestry. Idle tongues move swiftly, unknowing, laying the past to our predecessors, dropping word bombs. No, not only them N bombs, but the kind with the initials of MF. Deep. Deep like our forefathers and foremothers dropping the MF bombs because they watched slave masters rape their mothers. And when the slave master would come back through, they said, there goes the MF. Oh, no. Deep. Deep like, this being the term used by slave masters to describe those slaves that they had set aside for breeding them with all females on the plantation, including their own mothers. Deep. Deep like generations adopting this malignant phrase as something casual, cursory, and funny, and with each use someone is devalued. And coincidentally, nobody does it like black folks do. And someone called them curse words. Deep. Deep like what happened to your self-respect, the bridle on your tongue, know your history before speaking foolishly. Deep like the place of man in a society being shaken because someone felt like flipping familial structure. Deep like the fact that men are in the highest places of power, making decisions in litigations, political righteousness, and still they will not give a well-deserving man the custody to his own child in court. Deep. Deep like who said the best place for the child was with the mother when she is unstable, gives no discipline, and is an all-around bad example. Deep. Deep like, how are men in the highest places of power and still can't fight to be the head of their own family? Deep. Too deep like numerous issues that I cannot even describe in this poem. Deep like me not spouting off the plight of numerous underappreciated African and American revolutionaries, you know, Marcus Garvey and so on, injecting a willingness to slander on some person or group of people and so on, to sound like one of those deep, educated, and yes, underappreciated poets. Deep like the beheading of John the Baptist, the stoning of Stephen, the plight and crucifixion of Jesus. These two and many more like them suffered as revolutionaries and yes, were also underappreciated. Deep like them being enough for me. Deep like me wanting to be more like them. Deep like being so scared of your own anointing that you martyr your spirit. Because human imperfections lead you to believe that you just aren't good enough to receive this. Taking different directions, just trying to escape destiny, but it continually appears. Deep like that calling of God that you just can't escape. Deep like me once again returning to my dirty love triangle, me, myself, and I. Deep like romanticizing my sin, giving justification to lust fruit juices dripping down my tongue and chin when I grin, the misleading being sun-soaked in desolation, once again kin to despair, open to denial's language, closed to open's anguish, losing self in selfishness. It's not the devil, it's me. Deep like recognizing your shortcomings and then petitioning the Father for change. And once I've gotten so deep, God, please don't leave me hollow. Take me to your secret place and fill me with more of you that I may be deep with substance. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot to say.
That's deep. That's deep.
No. Okay. So, yeah, I'm on the serious side of the mic. I really appreciate poets who are funny, because I just can't do that. I have a problem, y'all pray for me. Okay. I am the weaker. I am the one that was supposed to be protected, virtue raped by wretched, scorned by abuse, torn by misuse, shoved into the dark places by the wicked, keeping its little secret hid in me. The weaker trembles in the darkness. Any and everything could take place here. Any and everything has taken place here. Instead of feeling like a leper, I must be the leprosy. I must be some kind of disease to make these seemingly good people lust after me, committing these evil deeds and indecencies. I must be the cause for this. My skin, they want to see. My flesh, they want to feel. Their eyes shoot like daggers, stabbing me with their desires, piercing me with their wants. And I, just a piece of meat, a raggedy cut of beef, beaten, wound, salted, and torn, still bleeding. It cuts deep. And with every rip, my skin loses elasticity. It's harder to heal. And though my moves are robotic, I just can't deal. And I really become enraged when I think of this sexual idolatry cage. You locked me in to be slave to my own misery. You tossed my rags like innocence and left my rags filthy. The gall you have to show your face in the light, knowing that you just ain't right. How something with a human face could just creep me out, creep me out, creep me out. Making it more apparent that freaks don't just come out at night. Monsters walk in the daylight. Demons party in the sunshine. But those with secrets like mine still have to hide. No longer will I hide. My God has brought me into the light. He maketh me to lie down on green pastures and desires not to climb on top of me. He loves me and his love heals. He knows the wickedness of man. My body may have been ravished by them, but he protected my heart, saved my broken spirit so precious, and protected each fragment, dusted those monsters' fingerprints from my temple and made them accountable for their horrors unspeakable, sutured the breaks, restored virtue, virgin me again. Thank you.